Sam McLeran, you and I just walked over from football practice over at the McLeran in the locker room. Is it crazy to think that a month ago, even that act is pretty incredible? This has been a wild month for you.
It's definitely been one of the more interesting months, I would say, I've had in my life. It's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs.
Let's go back to that day in October 10th in Western Illinois. What do you remember specifically about that play in the second quarter?
Okay, specifically from the play, I remember I was pulling around, we were running power to the left, and as I'm coming through, I see the linebacker coming over the top, and as I hit him, the lights kind of went out, and next thing I know, it was about a minute or two later as I kind of woke up, and it was fuzzy. And I remember looking at Doc, and Doc said, hey, can you straighten your left leg? And I said, yeah, of course. And then he said, can you straighten your right one? And I said, I thought I just did. Having my dad there was huge. Having my brother there was huge. Obviously, my coaches and teammates. I mean, this is exactly why I came here. It's one thing to say, we're a family. We do this as a family. I mean, we genuinely care about each other. And I mean, I think that's what's getting us some progress on the field this year, especially. So.
Yeah. So when that play happens, you're numb on the right side of your body. You get airlifted to your hometown of Iowa City. What are people telling you? What are the doctors saying at this point?
It was obviously a kind of a prepare for the worst type of situation. The first few things I was hearing is, we're just going to have to get some scans. And so when I first got to the University of Iowa, that's what it was. So I actually had 3 fractures in my spine. One, and the biggest one was at my C7, so at the bottom of my neck. Everybody's kind of saying, it'll take 6 months to a year for you to even feel close to what you were, on Friday morning of that day. And so that was one thing that I really kind of held on to is just the thought of not being able to be, me. Obviously, that's a scary thought. And I've been able to progress, really quickly to a point of being able to be, a month out looking at it and be probably, I would say, 85–90% of just back to where I was at on Saturday morning or Saturday during that warm-up. It's crazy. It's great. I'm thrilled that I'm able to be back here. It's awesome.
There was a great video a couple days after the injury of you taking kind of your first steps again.
Yeah.
What was that like going through that process?
That was wild. The PT lady comes by and she says, do you want to go for a walk? I said, absolutely, I want to try to go for a walk. So I kind of sat on the edge of the bed and kind of got to stand up. And as soon as I stood up, it was like a release of all the kind of muscles in my back. That was really the biggest confidence standpoint for me, is able to walk about 4 or 5 days after it happened. It was amazing.
You mentioned this season and how special this season has been, and the week after the injury, this team goes up to Fargo and gets a win over the 4-time defending national champions, and you get a phone call after that game.
Oof. That was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. As we were sitting there, as Bergie kicks that thing through the uprights, I was celebrating, I was jumping around. About 10 minutes later, I got a FaceTime, and we do this chant in here that, I'd rather be a Coyote than anything else chant, and just to be a part of that from a long ways away was, amazing for them to think of me like that, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I can't thank those guys enough for letting me be a part of that. It was awesome.
So initially, it looked like you were going to be back home going through rehab for the duration of the semester, but in 3 weeks after the injury, you're back in Vern with your team.
Yeah.
If you didn't know the story, nobody would have any idea that you had been injured like that just a month ago. So you've made such progress. What's next for you?
What's next right now is just trying to stay healthy. I'm going to be keep rehabbing here, keep working at my strength, keep working at some fine motor stuff with my hands. My next step is definitely going to be, obviously I'm done for this year, but I should be able to work out after that winter break. So after we get back from Christmas break, I should be able to go with the guys. I should be able to do everything that we're doing in winter workouts, and we'll see what happens. Optimistic, obviously, hopeful. Sometimes it's not in the cards. Sometimes it is. The thing I've been just kind of holding on to is the progress I've made. Hopeful that I'll get another chance to kind of get out there again, but I'm happy to be a part of this team, and I'm happy to do whatever I can to help those guys, and I love everything that's happened. It's kind of a crazy thing to say, but I wouldn't want it to be any other way. That's for sure.